everyone, through here. With Kohane's third focus out of the way, we're at the end of the third Vivid Bad Squad rotation, and let's say I'm so excited for things to come. From the story beats presented in Kick It Up a Notch to the amazing song Hitsuji ga Ippiki, composed by the one and only Peg, this definitely has to be one of my favorite events of all time. I have so many videos that I wanted to make, but decided to prioritize this one because of many events these past few days. Enough of me wasting time, let's get on to the video. First, I would like to talk about the names of the event, the gacha, the cards, and of course the song. The event story, called Kick It Up a Notch, means to make something more interesting, which is something that Kohane definitely does in this event story. The gacha name, Let Out the Lambs, is basically the phrase Let the Dogs Out, which brings out images of going all out, but with the word dogs replaced with lambs. Lambs are animals of purity and gentleness, which I find to be a perfect animal other than a hamster to represent Kohane. The animal on the gacha icon is a grown-up lamb, which is a ram. This one has huge horns, showing its proof of power. The term kid used in the card names has a double meaning. It can mean child, as in showing how the members of Vivid Bad Squad are growing, but it also can mean baby goat. Kohane's strength card is the only one to feature a pair of ram's horns, which is very fitting seeing as this event is her showing her singing prowess in its full glory. In the background, we see a mechanical ram which represents how Kohane's strength was meticulously crafted through Taika's teachings of her forming stronger bonds with the people of Vivid Street. Her card is presented in a worm's eye view and corresponds with Anne's card that represent the bird's eye view. This represents the gap that Anne feels between her and Kohane. A worm's eye view in shots used in cinematography to show an impression of what someone with lower status sees the world as. As this card from Anne's perspective, it hits even harder. All of the cards here have a claustrophobic feel, similar to the theme of sheep being animals associated with blindly following orders or mass-kept sheep. Moving on to Anne's card, we see a shocked and scared expression on her face as she is looking at Kohane, who has a determined look. Since the shot is from a bird's eye view, it feels as the background is engulfing Anne and swallowing her up like a big fish. The signs on the ground signify she's lost, with them saying one sheep and forge your own path. These are the same signs are also in Akito's card, but standing up, showing the contrast between the two characters' mindsets in that moment. What fascinates me is that both her legs are basking in the light, alongside the door ahead being open urges her to move forward. But she doesn't. Instead, she's frozen in place. Akito's card is the one that has the outside world in the wild, but it still feels like it is trapped with the ram guarding the outside world. The signs in Akito's card represent the paths that the other members can take, as the same sign is seen in Anne's card. The reason why Akito doesn't have a sign for himself is because, like the muzzle he's wearing, he's still being restrained. Akito being the third 4-star reflects how he was the first person to support Kohane in taking up the solo opener for the event. The background being barren gives me a post-apocalyptic vibe, which reminds me of a certain Kobato Ryoko's card. Wink wink, nudge nudge. I also like how there's a barcode on his hand as well. I don't have much to say about Toya's card, but he has his back against the wall and is trying to cover his face from the blinding light. Much like a certain someone running away from their problems, but well, Kohane's brilliance on stage blinds them all. Now to talk about the story, compared to the song that we will talk about later, and the cards is actually very lighthearted up until the end. It is heartwarming as Kohane connects with the ideals of Vivid Street, and to bring up Maslow's hierarchy of needs, she reaches self-actualization. She lets go of all her worries and becomes one with Vivid Street. Everyone is rooting for her, and she is seen by their side as well. We get to see both Kohane and the community reciprocate each other's feelings in the solo opener that Kohane has performed. Anne seeing this gets even more nervous for once as she's being challenged. She has always got this, but now she doesn't feel that anymore. She's trying to do the impossible by wanting to become someone who is unapologetically herself. Let's now look at Kohane's opener, shall we? Going through this familiar street, I step faster, I'm sure you're looking forward to it. While passing various faces, I remember the words you said to me one day. I'm here. So now I'm alone, but it's different from loneliness, see? Can you feel it? Our connecting thoughts. So forever you, so forever you. Don't be afraid, don't look down. Let's raise our hand and praise the answer that's inside of you. Follow me. Yesterday I was scared. Today I'm laughing. If you take one more little step, the scenery has changed. If you realize that it's up to you, if you've just awakened to your true feelings, let's get started. With these lyrics, it clearly shows how Kohane has fused and become a part of Vivid Street. Her memories of there are also the memories of the people because she is a member of Vivid Street, and by borrowing their power, it has become her own. Before, without Vivid Street, she was scared, but now she's laughing and having fun with everyone. The line, "So now I'm alone," but it's different from lonely at sea. Kohane at first felt like an outsider to Vivid Street, but now she is alone as the one that escaped from the sinking mud boat in Hitsuji Ippiki. The line, "If you realize that it's up to you, if you just awaken to your true feelings, let's get started," makes it yet another callback to the song Hitsuji Ippiki, the lyrics talking about scapegoating your problems onto other factors. You need to get started and realize that it's up to you to put it in your all. Since I mentioned the commission song twice now, let's take a proper look at it. Throughout making this video, I went through a roller coaster of feelings, from doubting my abilities, to self-hatred, to wanting to quit making project Sekai videos altogether. I actually came and wrote this part immediately after I came home because I had a catharsis and just had to let these feelings out. I went through both the emotions that Kohane and Anne went through, which is wild, but that is why the lyrics of Hitsuji Ippiki hit me even harder. I'll analyze these lyrics through my own experience as well as the story itself. Let us begin. If this is misery, it's my personal best. Pretending I can't hear it, I go ZZZ. Such a thing, so to speak, is a scapegoat. I don't give a damn if I'm tilting at windmills. With the line tilting at minerals being a Don Quixote reference, which I will connect with on later, I was fighting enemies that didn't even exist. I was scared of being replaced when I shouldn't have been, and if I was replaced, I shouldn't have powered away. Looking back now, that Kanade video was pretty mid when you compare it to my other ones. I used to pretend I didn't hear like what the lyrics said. I plan on remaking that Kanade song video, so that's more content for you guys. I wanted to pretend to be a desperado. You think you can do that? My self-hatred creeps. Such raw, so to speak, is a scapegoat. It's as if a curse has clung to me. The first line, having the word pretend instead of actually, quote-unquote, be, is a reflection on how, in the end, Anne just wants to pretend to be like Nagi, because in the end, she'll have to realize that she can't be Nagi. She has to be herself. I wanted to go out in flames and pour all of my passion into videos, but every now and then I doubt myself and my capabilities a lot. When I see someone so much better than me, I just want to surrender and be blinded by that brilliance. But then and again, instead of doing anything, I just used my inadequacy as a scapegoat. Those feelings felt like they were cursed upon me, and instead, here I am using them to further tell my story. This place that stays the same is a boat of mud, waiting to sink under the weight of 100 of them. Someday it will happen, the sun goes down. Opted out from that surf for now, sun. You can say whatever you want, but just tell me you're pretending to be an oblivious fool. You're just a lonely one, so let me hear that voice of yours. The boat mud made me think of Noah's Ark, something meant to save all, but in this case it is sinking. If you don't do anything, it will just melt, right? I didn't want all that I've built up to go away. I know that there will be a day that real life gets to me and I'll have to quit, but that day doesn't have to be today, right? The last time I realized that voices are meant to be heard, and so does my voice too. Everyone's lone voice is different and comes with its own story. Oh lonely sheep, go tear the darkness to pieces, the entire thing. If this beautiful night never ends, shall we try counting the numbers? What do you want to do after you end up all by yourself? This version of myself is the lonely one, so can you just leave me be for now? You're just a solitary one right now, go far beyond them. This first line here feels like a call to action, as it invigorated me to get up on my feet and actually finish the script. Tearing down the darkness gives me an image of illuminating the path and making your own way into the great big world. If this beautiful night never ends, shall we try counting the numbers? It's a reference to counting sheep, a way in which people allow themselves to sleep. This is how Anne deals with her problems, by ignoring them. Kohane sings the last line, reflects on what's going on in the event story. I've been getting hurt more and more, often by this something that I no longer see as a hobby. This line, this one right here, was the first urge for me to make this video, because this thing I do has now grown into something much larger than just a hobby. With this line sung by Anne, who's scared that Kohane will leave her even more, it's just me being scared that the people who help me with my videos see me as this inadequate fool who can't even write anything by herself. Through Stop the Self-Hatred, we're recording. Jokes aside, this line fits Anne so well. It's unreal. To talk about the overall song, it's quite the opposite of Kohane's situation, where she becomes one with the community, whereas the song is the sheep rejecting the crowd. However, I feel like Kohane at the beginning, who could be seen as a wolf in sheep's clothing, fits the song quite well. She cut through the darkness that was her own insecurities and escaped from her own mud boat. Onto the Don Quixote and Anne crossover. The themes that the book Don Quixote explore are delusion and reality, truth and lies, and self-invention. The titular character Don Quixote represents illusion, while his partner Sancho represents reality. The story that goes is that Don Quixote reads the stories about chivalrous knights. He too pretended to be one to fend off the weak. This reminds me of Anne in the story of Radviken and Nagi. Radviken is a legend. It is much like the stories that Don Quixote read. While Anne is an airhead and has aspirations that are unrealistic, Kohane is more grounded. This is why I feel that the line "tilted windmills" was used in the song. Hopefully in Anne's fourth vocus, we get a Don Quixote theme. It may be a bit repetitive with White Day, but I would love to see it as a Love Limbus Company's Don Quixote loads too. Overall, this event is one of my favorite events in Project Sekai of all time, as it unironically made me love Anne even more while resonating with Kohane cutting through her insecurities. Love the aesthetic, the cards, the story, the song, just everything about this event really. When I saw the teaser for this event and just the music sequence, I knew this was going to be a good event, and it did not disappoint. What are your thoughts on this event? Feel free to leave them in the comments down below. We have a Discord where you can come and discuss. Thank you for watching, and have a good day!